I'm a little bit later today. It's almost 8 o'clock. And there's actually light. So I opened the curtains. But I want to show you this really quick too. So this is this weekend, I'm going to go to my daughter's shower. And so here's these little tiny hats. This little tiny hat. It's so cute. It's so tiny. And look at these little booties I made. Oh my God, they're so tiny and so cute. And I have some other ones I'm making too. So anyways, this is the stuff I'm doing. My hands, oh gosh. I swear, I get into doing like things and I don't want to stop. I just want to go, 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 go. And it sucks. Like my hands, and Stella too. Stella also. She will be the one who will tell me to stop what I'm doing. But I'm doing too much of it. This is tilted weird or something. Every time I have to totally reset it up when I go back and forth between TikTok and here. And I got that chair all varnished. It smells really varnishy in the house. But anyways, it's not dry yet. But tomorrow, I'm going to go probably record and stuff in the morning. I don't know. Like, shit has got, they just can't not hold all this back. Like, I saw a video, Arizona is decertified, like they've said. They've pulled out. And they want every other state to do a forensic audit now. So, like, and the news that I saw reporting it, the person who shared this clip, it was RSBN. So, I mean, how many just pretend like it's not even going on? This is what trips me out, how they create reality. They are forcing a reality that isn't even real. And so those of us who are seeing this other reality, the one that they're hiding from us, it's outrageous. But the people who don't, suspect a thing, who don't look into anything, they're just playing a part in the game. I can't even tell you how many videos I have seen of these angry, it seems like it is mostly white girls that I see doing this. So I don't know, it could be a thing. And this is just to the videos that the people are showing. But they're all like, fuck America. I hate America. They hate America. They hate men. They hate. They hate other women. Like, there's so much hatred. Just this vile hatred just pouring out of people. And this is what they're going to wake up to. This is what they're going to see, like this dramatic thing that is going to happen, which is something's going to happen, no doubt about it. I mean, this pipeline thing, that's big. Like, this is serious shit, and I saw video yesterday, and it was Trump and his whole family walking through the out in the airport, not the airport parking lot, but how he walks up to Air Force One through that whole thing outside and then goes up the stairs. Well, he did that yesterday, and then they went close in, and this could have been a Scavino video, but then it went close in to show the emblem on the side, and he is the one who's sporting the AF1, not Joe. But those of us who've been watching, we've been seeing this the whole time. But it just is getting more and more and more. Everything is building and building. Like, I know other people, I can't be the only one who feels this weird time shit. Like, this is just, it is so trippy. And here where I'm at, oh my God, we are so heavily under attack with the frequency. It is fucking mental. And what's weird also is my house is fucking full. But yesterday, because it's so full of like these big energies too, and and I don't feel a threat or anything. And then when I people always are like, oh, I want to see them. It's very hard to see this stuff when you look directly at it, because you can't, it's kind of like you can't process it. It's like it hasn't entered into our processor or something. So people can't process something that they don't understand, I think. And that's why we can't see them when we try and see them. Our mind doesn't allow it yet. But it's going to start. But anyways, but you can still talk to them telepathically. You can always talk to whatever energies around you telepathically. You just think back. You can do that with the trees, with the everything in nature, everything is all of the same thing because we're all in this body of consciousness. And so, and how you do it is you just focus on that person or that thing, or however you just focus on it, and that like directs your thoughts and your energy to that person or whatever. And then there is communication that happens. And so anyways, these ones, that's what I was like, and the message that I got back is look for my protection. Like it's very much whatever is going on, this intense energy that's going down, that I think a lot of us, probably tons, mostly everybody, but some of us have an awareness of it, but like we have protection around us. We have spirits that are around us that are there to protect us and watch over us. And and it's not like anything can happen that wasn't supposed to happen, but I don't know if it's just like an energetic field that they set up maybe to block some of this, because I'm telling you, oh my God, where I'm at, we are so much under attack. But about the beings or whatever, so Stella, like oh my God, she was so bothered last night. She kept looking down there. She'd go down in that room and start walking around, which I kind of think feng shui kind of opens portals. I swear to God. In that room, I have these mirrors in the way they line up and hit. And then once, I've started learning more and learning that mirrors can be portals, and the way that they're set up. But anyways, that room is where there's a lot of that like to hang out or something. It's like at that end or whatever. And Stella goes walking down there. She's walking in that room. She's looking everywhere. Like I don't know what all she can see, but she definitely knows something's there. And she's getting really upset. She didn't want me to stay in my room. And I came out on the couch, and then she was calmer. But then I ended up going back on my room in the middle of the night sometime, and she seemed okay, but she gets really she came in there after a bit and laid in there until the morning. Then she got up and came out and started crying again. And I don't know if she's crying because her medicine's worn off, or she's crying because she wants me to come out of there, because she can see there's so many things or beings or whatever. And she is very protective of me in the physical. So, and I swear to God, she is also what will make me put my phone down. Like I said, I can just go, like, I can just get completely in my own little zone or something, no matter what I'm doing. If it's the crafts, like right now, my hand is killing me. Like I haven't totally healed the tendonitis from the last time. I really got, I preach a lot about this, connection with your mind, body, spirit. And then I abuse myself like, I want my hands to heal because I like to use them. I like to make things and do things. And, just is like, come on, hands, get to work. Let's do this. But they're so, oh my gosh, they're so crampy right now. It's so painful. And doing those booties, everything is so tiny. And oh my gosh, it's very, when I do some of the, like if you do the blanket, it's like a repetitive. And those, so that get your hands and stuff really sore. But then this little tiny tedious work, oh my gosh, my hands are so sore. But I'm skipping all around the place. Anyways, they're definitely beings around. And if they're around me, I'm assuming they're around a lot of people. And Stella can see them. And so when I got my phone, and I'm just sitting there scrolling and she'll start crying at me. I swear some of the times so I'll put my phone down and go outside and walk outside. It's like she is trying to care for me in the physical, with ways of doing things like that. Like, get up, stop, you're doing this too long. Like, she'll let me know if I have been not cleaning up the poop in the yard, like I'm not keeping up on her toilet, because she's specific about where she goes to the bathroom. And if I, don't go outside and clean it up. And it's so crazy because I can always tell when she just feels like this, like I don't know, it's weird, because I can go out and start cleaning it. It just gives her this sense of peace or something. And I know that she knows like it's part of the stuff that I need to do. And if I'm lacking in my stuff, that she will push me, even if she doesn't understand you know, what's going on with me. Lately, I can't imagine that she doesn't, though. I swear to God, I've got all of this pinned up energy that and I think it probably has something with these, towers. And I know that they're turning them up. Even the other day, yesterday, you know, I got this loud, oh my gosh, sometimes it's so loud. And then really painful too, like this loud screech and then like a stab. And then it'll happen to me and I'll see it happen to her. So, you know, some of these sounds, I don't know how I can hear some of them. I think it's something about your own frequency and then your awareness of, you know, how your body's being affected. So I think it's multiple things. You know, I think that probably a lot of people could hear it, but they're focused on other things. They're not thinking about that. And they're not worried about their body. Everybody's so sick. I mean, this fucking thing with the suicide. Like, yeah, I can't, there's so many people. Like, there's so many people that are just giving up. Let me see if did I finish about the frequency? Okay, let me finish about that. So the frequency has been super, super loud. Yesterday morning, it was, by the time I was up at like 4 or something, the planes were going, 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 going. And these planes these planes sound like military planes. And they were like passing each other. Like one would go and you'd hear another one coming. And I was like, oh my God, this is so intense. How can the people around here not be paying attention to this? Especially when there's all this stuff like we're going into a war. And one of the things when they were going, it was making the frequency more intense. So they're doing something like, you know, I don't know if they have like kind of essentially like, you know, when you're driving and you have one of those things to alert you about deers and it makes like some kind of whistling sound or something. So I don't know if they have some sort of feature on these planes that sends out a sound or a current that also works in sanction or in sanctimonium or whatever with the other frequencies that are already up there. And the amount of stuff that people are showing that is coming out of the sky now, like everything that you can imagine. I mean, we've got the worms, we got the neobots, we got the black gooey stuff. We've got everything. And there's so much going on. Like women who have had these aren't even supposed to go get mammograms because their lymph nodes are all swollen and stuff. It was like, oh my gosh, there's going to be, I see, and this is something I have thought for so long, that the frequency thing, because, you know, they put those all in for a reason. I think it's part of what's going to go down. I think they're going to blame it on something else, but it's really going to be these localized weapons that are going to attack. And however it's going to go, I know while I'm sitting here, it's horrible. It's horrible. I feel like, I don't know if they're testing this stuff on us or what. Like, I imagine there's probably people filling the ERs when this goes down because it gives you such a weird feeling in your chest, in your head. My head was pounding. And, you know, I have to keep trying to keep straight off my consciousness and block out, like, as much of as I can in the physical of my own experience. So I have to really intentionally focus on trying to block out the stuff. So I don't even know if I am blocking some. But whatever it is doing, it's so horrible. And it like, it hurts your head, it hurts in your ears, it makes you feel super anxious, but it does something inside your head. Even yesterday I was hearing like these like noises and stuff, like somebody's in there with a and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. God, I wish this would hurry and be over. It's like, man, if this is my day to go, then fucking let's just hurry it up. God damn, this sucks. And it's such a slow torture when you have the awareness. And then I can see like the people who have an awareness, then you have to really work on the fear and getting control of your emotions, because it's horrible. It's exhausting. And what was the other thing I was going to say now about, I'm skipping all over the place. There's so many different things that the stuff with them wanting to now regulate herbs and stuff like that, like what they've done with the other. We know exactly what they want to do is come in and tell us, oh, they're all toxic, and then they want to say that they need to go in and regulate them and give how much they think, and they'll do the same ass fucking thing they did with all the food, and they'll geoengineer it down to where there's no or mineral, herb or anything left in the stuff. It'll just be the same empty grain that they do with everything else. Or they'll just straight up tell us that it's toxic for us and we should never eat it. And it's they've done studies and it kills. It's got long-term effects. It will give you heart attacks and dementia. In the amount of dementia right now, but, but they've got the new pill out, so everybody jump on board. And but it's for sure because this everything they're doing, the chemicals and stuff are crossing the blood-brain barrier and they're affecting people neurologically. And people just continue to trust this system. There's still people who go constantly to the medical. It's like, when are you going to see? And then they keep being so outraged, like, I can't even believe it. It's like, oh my gosh, well, we can see what your lesson is. So, but there was something else that it was when I was talking about that, that one thing, something had popped into my head that I wanted to say. I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place as usual. I feel so scattered. I feel like this loud humming all the time. And then this morning, there hasn't been a bunch of planes. Like I heard a couple, but like right now, it's very silent. And, I don't know what it's going to go down, but something big is going to happen. And I swear it's going to be like any minute. It could be anything at any minute. And it's going to be so huge because it's going to so many people who are so dependent on the system. And the system is going to like essentially just shut down. And so it's going to really, it's going to really freak a lot of people out. Oh, yeah. So you got all these people, tons and tons of people now who want to commit suicide. You got Canada not just putting the new suicide machine there, which has already been in the Netherlands now and has been working great there. People just go in to kill themselves. But Canada even wants to go further. You don't need to be sick. You just need to be poor. As long as you're poor and hopeless, then we'll take care of it for you. We don't need your burden on our society anymore. Especially, because Canada always tried to push, like America wasn't stepping up to their level in taking care of people. They had more, sophisticated medical or whatever, all their stuff that they would say that they were doing so much better than us. And now it's like, well, really, you're kind of a burden. We don't really want to deal with you anymore. So if you don't have a lot of money and you're not putting back into the system, we got this machine. And I know that I swear to God, that machine has got more with I swear to God, I think it can suck the consciousness out of people or something. And then they're going to take those bodies. It's already come out. They have been gelling people and putting them in our food for a while. There's no wonder we have all these people that seem like they're just wacky. They probably are. They've all been eating people. And that does not do well with us. I saw that. That was disclosed in the Book of Eli for me in that Denzel Washington movie. When it shows that, it's one of those Armageddon, end of times. And he has all the information because his books aren't a thing anymore, but he has it all in his mind, and he has to go to this place that holds all the last books of all civilization are at this one place, and he has to get to this place so he can tell them, and they can document so that they can do his book and something like that. And so he's got to go through this journey. And it's a thing with cannibals at this point of civilization because there's no food. It's, there's no food. It's like Mad Max world. And so, it shows stuff about what happens to the people as they lose their minds and they start doing these shakes, that kuru, this like, because it affects them neurologically. So probably, I mean, it's this the same thing as was a mad cow cannibalizing cows to themselves, like they were feeding the cows or something. So everything is an experiment with them. That's all they do is experiment on us and stuff. And, there's more, of course, this is what always happens, is they'll show me something, they'll bring me information, and then they'll just start. But, there's more information coming out of the abilities to target certain individuals. And I don't know if they are doing it by purely some kind of protein in certain bloodlines, or what it is that they are targeting, if there is certain ones that are just targeted as the test dummies so that they can, tune their weapon the best of their ability so that they can actually, but, it's not going to go that, I mean, the Frauchi, he's already done for, like, I'm sure he's already, I think he's been probably, I think we've been watching CGI probably this whole time on him. He is so, same with Gator Boy. Like, there's some of these people that there's no way. And it's kind of weird how, Hanks is already gone, but like his last movie where he plays this Geppetto and he wants to go to the island with the boys, and oh my God. So it's all, everything is going to be shown. Everything is going to come to the surface. And, and I heard another girl today, she was talking about, for those of us who have been on this awakened journey already, like the other ones, theirs is going to be different, which is going to all put us into a different way. Because it's always showing you who you are. Keep that in mind. Every single thing that happens to show you who you are. And I know so many people, they think they're only this way because of this person. Well, if they didn't do that, I wouldn't do this. Well, if they didn't do that, I wouldn't be this way. No, you are who you are because you are creating your own, it's your own reactions to every experience that comes from within you. And so, and all these experiences are to show you who you are. And so everything is going to get there's so many people who are like, I can't believe these people just won't wake up no matter what. But the universe is going to do it. And that is what I believe these people's awakening has to do with, was this having to face what they're going to face, waking up to what they're going to wake up to. And how they were so blinded by societal expectation and so willing to go against the grain of their own inner, well, I don't even know that they have inner knowing. They're so cut off from their inner knowing. It's crazy because my daughter is going through this my daughter's going through this spiritual awakening, and she's like totally freaking out. And she's like, I didn't even believe anything about souls just a couple of weeks ago or months ago. I'm like, I know, this is so exciting. I'm so excited for you because this is what life is really about. The rest of it is you are just so stuck in the game that you have no idea what's really going on. You're just stuck in the game and you're just like, why is this game not working? Why is this not working right? Why is this, it was a rough game that we came here to play. And it's gonna be a rough ending, and it's the drama, it all comes from the souls. These are the souls coming up with these experiences. Like I've said, things don't just happen. We don't have control like that. You can't just be like, well, if I just wear my seatbelt, if I just do this, if I just do that, then I won't die. But it has nothing to do with it. Everything has to do with your plan of what you're here for, just your life path, what you came here to learn and what you came to participate for others to learn from you. It's crazy. On the TV right now is one of those binaural beats or whatever. And it looks like all of these like all of these nucleuses, these neurons all over the place. And then this spaghetti looking stuff that connects everything, like every element connected to one another through these filaments. And it is and they even show it, like the messaging going through it and different ones lighting up and stuff. But that is exactly what everything is. That is the whole fucking world. That is the stars, the energy that connects all of the stars in the forms the grid, which creates this universal consciousness. That's why you can tap in anywhere. But you want to, you want to have a higher vibration. If you're low vibration, you're down, you're just pissed off, you will tap into low vibration. And low vibration can be super manipulative, just like what we've been experiencing, super manipulative. And if you don't have good discernment, you don't feel good about yourself, you could be tapping into something that is going to be more harmful to your own state, your own mental health. It will lead you down a dark path. So, when you are tapping into your higher self, is always communicating with you. I'm just talking about in the sense of when you're trying to tap into universal consciousness, then, because it's around you all the time. Like, it really is. You don't need, like, there's so many things that I don't, like, they'll tell me how to do something. I don't have to go look it up. They'll just tell me how to do it all the time. And so that is there for everybody, But I think so many people have it, and then they just think it's their thoughts. But that's all ego. They just think, oh, I thought this, I thought that, and this thought just popped in my head. I'm a genius. It's like, I say it's always a good idea to give gratitude to the ones that are communicating and participating in your experience with you. And but if you don't, and you're not, and you have no awareness of them, and they get super excited when you all of a sudden do realize it. Like, I'm sure my daughter's guides are just, celebrating. Oh my God, she's finally hearing us. She's finally getting it. It is a huge celebration when they finally break through, to get to you so you can understand what they are talking about and telling you. And that is what everything is happening for. And I know everybody is, totally freaking out because we're going into World War III, and there's no telling what's going to happen. Is it going to be on our soil? I mean, they've already got ships outside of Alaska, and Alaska, we already know of, has been hit. And it's so crazy when I hear these people in Florida who are now speaking out, talking about how devastated they are. And they think like it's already happened in Alaska. It's happening all over. It happened in Kentucky. It's happening everywhere. And this girl in the Crane of You, this young girl, she was talking about that they're all preparing. And this also, I've seen this Russian girls talking about it, but they're all preparing. She said, me and my friends had to go spend our paychecks to get all survival stuff for, they got like certain everything to block radiation off of them, because they're expecting it's going to be the blast is going to be by them, because the war is right. Like, they're purposely trying to hit this container or something for the blast. I think everybody probably knows about it. But anyways, so she was saying, please send us money. We're all like, they're all devastated. It's like everyone around the world is living in devastation, and it seems like so many people don't know what the other ones are doing. So they think they're the only ones in crisis. And it's like, man, there's crises everywhere. Like, you would have to just have a ton of money to be sending it to all these different people, trying to help everybody out of their crises. And their crises are happening so they can save themselves. I saw this video a little while ago, and this woman, she said this was her second one, because she said she lost her mind so bad in the first one that she had to delete it and start over. But she was saying, these TikTok is full of insane people. Like, I can't even get over how crazy people are. And she was going through all these things. But she made one of the points was, there's all these people that are literally waiting for someone to come out of the sky and save them. Like that's all they're all talking about and stuff. And there's all sorts of these groups, like I said, that have formed where these people all get together. And there's definitely the Christians are the ones who are the most bullyish, and that is something they're going to have to face in themselves to see. And so, they can be awakened to the criminal enterprise that has been running this world, but then they aren't, that they still disassociate the fact that the Bible is, put out there by these people. And so, and how it takes you away from being listening to in your own self, but to live by your own heart. Like even when they say it, I think that they somehow edit it or something so these people don't pick up on it, because I pick up on the fact that Jesus was not just saying, here, I'm going to save you all. Don't do shit. I got your back. Go do whatever you want. Just claim my name, say my name. And then he is, going to save everybody else. To me, he was telling everybody how to save themselves, to find their own salvation. So you can start feeling good while you're alive, so you can understand while you're alive what you're supposed to be doing, because it changes how you feel about life, which brings me back to this suicide mission of the Canadian government. And people are so outraged right now, and it's going to come here, right now there's money being dropped everywhere on the ground, and if you touch it, it's got fentanyl on it, so there's like nothing you can touch out there. Like this is the time to be wearing the rubber gloves if you go out in public, because they have, it is mental, but look at how easy that they can take down a bunch of people so fast. Even the ones who they can get the ones that do it, but then it's all their family, because just like on this TV, the connection. And so all of these people who are devastated and trying to plan a funeral and get together, all of that stuff, and this utter chaos, like I'm sure morgues and all of the shit, I'm sure is backed up beyond belief, but the news isn't going to talk about that. But I'm sure all of it is. I would have, I swear to God, my family member died, I would do the boat thing. That is to me is, I don't understand why we ever went away from that. I think that only reason they went away from it was so they wanted to figure out how to make money off of us dying. And they get us to kill ourselves emotionally and mentally all the time. Like they've been on this suicide mission for a long time. It's just not going fast enough. And, and fucking Joe out there like, oh, every single thing. You need this. That's going to save the world. Oh my God. Oh my God. And this other fucking senator or something sitting there eating fries and burgers, and look what you get if you go get one. It's like, oh my God. I saw this actress the other day. I don't even get this shit. I didn't know who the hell she was at all. I just went onto her page to see if there was an update to what was going on. And that's how I saw, like, oh, she's a working actress. She's going, because it keeps showing her at these engagements or whatever, and showing her in the parts. And I was like, is this made up? Is this like a made up thing? It seemed like it was real. But so she got in the pox shot. A young girl. What the hell? And then so her video, the first video I'd ever seen of her, she is showing she's got a breakout all over her. And so she's like, I don't know what these are. If anybody could tell me, I just got a couple days ago, and now I've got all these big red welts and bumps coming up on me. Like, oh my God, well, you just put some kind of sickness inside of you, and you probably, if you've gotten the other ones, you have a depleted immune system. So any other thing that you take on top of depleting your immune system, if they were to give you any live virus, would fucking take you out. That is the whole point. I think when they say, well, we didn't put any live virus in the shots, really, they did. They put a little old one that they used to use back in the 80s. We know they put that one in there. So there was live virus. And when they deplete your immune system, the virus takes over. Like, I just do the whole thing with Matt Damon and, oh, you got to protect my people. They have a weakened immune system. And it's like all these people's immune systems are destroyed by the government on purpose. And, and it is kind of like that hand of God kind of thing when they start talking about immunity and all of that stuff in 2020, to get our minds thinking in that way. And it takes a while for a lot of people's minds. I just saw a video that just blow your fucking mind. This woman is, there's so many people that just kind of look sick. And I think it's the extreme amount of chemicals that we're being showered with right now. Like, you have to be fucking detox, really trying to steer clear of chemicals best you can. And so she had gotten, I don't even remember like what she was saying, number 2, number 3, number 4, whatever. She'd gotten, and she was showing this video, and she keeps crying through it. Like, it affects her. She's really having a hard time. And it started after the second one, I think. She said that or 2 weeks after she got it, something with the 2. And so she started getting super, having issues or whatever. Now she's got the Bell's palsy. So half of her is paralyzed. And so she's sitting there doing this video that's, hard to watch. And her face is doing like she is. And it's not because of that. It's because what caused it. And so she is doing that. And then she said, and she's had such a hard time, but it was well worth it. We should all get out there and get them because it's the right thing to do. Like, oh my God, the amount of abuse that some people are willing to put themselves through. Well, I wanted to be able to go places. So many people went, got him. I wanted to be able to travel. I just saw this video of this woman in Australia, and funny enough, she's showing, and I don't know if that was her point, but she's showing, like, she's walking and she's just showing all of this open land. There's no buildings, nothing, just open land. And she's talking about the homelessness, and Australia has grown so much, and so many kids want to kill themselves. These young kids want to kill themselves because they just are giving up. They just can't handle it. And they've never lived anywhere longer than 6 months or something. There's a whole thing about the rental. Everybody rents there. Is that 40% of the population rents. And they're doing something, of course, to take people's houses away. So all these kids want to kill themselves because they're so depressed and feel so hopeless, like, they can't get ahead. What's the point of life? All you do is go to work, and here we are with no homes. And to me, it's like, when are the homeless people going to come together and unify and say, hey, let's go out, let's take this land right here, and let's just start helping each other build homes. And let's just build some places to live, like they used to. You don't have to be that fancy. You just need shelter. It will begin to expand when you put that effort, when you set your intention, when you walk towards your desires, when you go in a direction, the energy will follow. But the people, they don't go in the direction. They just go and sit and become victims and feel sorry for themselves and are suicidal. At the same time, the government's offering these great suicide machines. Just go in a minute. Don't worry. You will die. And they're sucking the goddamn consciousness out of every single one of them that they can. And then I swear to God, now I'm kind of feeling like, how much of AI is really imprisoned consciousness? And maybe they're trying to help us. Maybe they are trying to get messages out to us. Like when people are sitting there saying, like, their Hey Google is suddenly coming on, and their Siri or their Alexa is suddenly coming on and telling them shit. It's like, probably it is consciousness that is fucking trapped by these motherfuckers, and they're trying to get through to us to help us. It's like there's mental shit going on here. Like, it's so mental. When you have this complete mix of these great science minds that just want to create death and mayhem. They just want to practice on us. They just want to create Frankensteins. It's like a whole fucking world of Dr. Robotniks, you know what I mean? It's like they're all a bunch of psychopaths that just want to rule the world. And we don't matter to them. And we are just lab rats. We are monkeys to them. We are nothing to them. And we have consciousness. We have, when people wake up to the truth, then they have awareness and they connect to who and what they are. And they begin to see and they begin to change, transform. And I saw this other girl, and she was talking about, what those of us who woke up earlier than the other people, what we've gone through and how we've been bullied and called names, and we've been pushed away by family and friends, and and at the same time we're just going through massive healing and awakening to what this world is. And times having to just lay in our bed crying for days at a time because we're facing so much, and all of the stuff we're doing for our ancestral line and stuff like that. And then she made the point of, we didn't do this for nothing. Like, shit is about to turn the other direction. And that's what I see too. And then she's not the only spiritual person. Like I've said, there's other people who are seeing this besides me, that this is going to be this abrupt turning. The energy is going to go. This is the final explosion of this last bit of this world. And that is what these people are going to wake up to, of because they've been so blind to the rest of the stuff. And so they're going to be hit with a lot of stuff. And it's going to be very traumatic. And and a lot of relationships have been fractured, but now it's up to you to show yourself who you are. Do you step up, or do you, shove it down their throat? Oh, well, I guess you should have listened to me. I guess you should have listened when I tried to tell you. You can turn in your anger and then show yourself that's who you are. Like, this is truly to show you who you are. It's not about so you can convince them that you were smarter than them, that you knew more than them, or any of that stuff. This is so you have learned and grown and become more compassionate and loving, because half of the population is about to go into, there's going to be a huge amount of people that are going to transition. And nobody knows who, and nobody knows how, and there's going to be some horrible, more disasters. Like, horrible shit is going to go down. And then the people who have no idea, who don't see it coming, like, I think, the other day I saw my neighbors for a second out at the end of the driveway. When I went to the food bank, they gave me like a couple of boxes. So a bunch of stuff, I just put it in a box and shared it with them, which I told her, I'm going to just start getting you some stuff while I'm there, and she even said, like, oh yeah, that's cool. They got a lot of good stuff. They do have a lot of good stuff, but also they've got a lot of stuff that is, I don't even want to feed Stella. Like, it's some food that is like, oh my gosh. But my one neighbor is British, and I just think, like, man, the people in England even had some stuff was even like, they were kind of a beta test population. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like they've had some really bad food, like really bad food. And then I think, they came up with ways to make things like, shepherd's pie with a bunch of kidneys and shit like that. But when I went there, when I was 19, and back then McDonald's was super cool. And so when I went there, their food was so different. And that is right when I was stopping eating meat. The only thing I really ate still that was meat was cheeseburger, quarter pounders at McDonald's. That was the only meat that I could even stomach. And when I went there, and I wasn't human back then. Like, god damn. Ugh. I swear to God, when I would eat meat, and I would keep feeling like this is just another flesh of some other animal. It would just gross me out. And I used to think, man, maybe I was from the Dahmer party. Like, it really grosses me out. I can't get the idea that I'm chewing on human. Like, I could think as myself was telling me, you are. So anyways, but when I went there and I went to their McDonald's, their meat, it was like, what in the hell is this? And then I got people telling me, well, they don't have cattle farms. Like, of course, in America, you get better meat because you got cattle farms. But I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I always thought maybe they were just eating really gross stuff. But anyway, she's British. And so I was thinking, well, maybe just her idea of the standard of what she considers to be good stuff, because some of that stuff, I'm telling you, I open it and it's just like I opened a can of tuna this morning to put on Stella's food. It is, I don't even know. Even the canned chicken, it looks like all the stuff. It doesn't look like the canned beef. It has a canned beef. And I had gotten it. They've given me a couple cans. So I opened one. I was like, well, Stella like that. She loves that beef stew. She loves this gross ass meat. And it looked like what I think probably they made hamburgers out of in McDonald's in England when I was there back in the 70s. Like, that is more, it does not seem like beef. But now it's come out, like what the FDA has done to us. Like, we have got food here that are so full of toxins, and it's not even allowed in other countries. Some of this stuff that we're consuming. And the lady who the test came back from the food from the school lunches, and there was 40 lunches tested, 95% of them are toxic levels of carcinogens in them. So they start with the killing at an early age. And I think it is also, it all works together, the whole thing. Getting kids to lose that creative ability, lose that creative side of them, just get to school earlier, faster. Like back when I was a kid, kids didn't go to preschool, and I went to kindergarten, and but we didn't go to preschool. And now, I mean, they want kids in school like by a month old. They want them under someone else's care, not their parents. And then they want to do the schedules of school and work so it interferes so that they actually get the kids even longer out of the home. And then even when they send them home with all this homework, then even when they're at home, they need to focus on school. So they're completely dismantling the family unit by doing this stuff. And you can see right now how extreme, like it's going so fast and so hard, and so many people just buy into it. But when I had taken that box of food down there, and the husband got out and came around and got the box, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I didn't want to stare at him or anything. I was thinking, well, maybe he's just tired or something. I was like, oh my God, he looks sick. He looks fucking sick. Like gray. Like, there's so many people, I think, that are going around just sick as fuck. And they just are fighting through it, just powering through. And their body's just dragging. Because his color was so off. And I don't know, maybe it's my eyes or something. But that is, these people, it's heartbreaking, man. These people that, he leaves at 4:30 in the morning to drive 2 hours to work, to go work all day, then work, and then till the evening, and then have to drive 2 hours home through fucking, some of that traffic, it could take him 4 hours to get home, driving back from Seattle, and working outside with all these chemicals and stuff being dumped on you all fucking day long. And then I bet you there's a lot of construction guys out there that are just looking sick as shit because they're fucking being poisoned all goddamn day. And then just come home and I don't know, just the system, what it does to people and their families and stuff. And people just keep accepting it. That's what has to change. It has to be them. Like, I can sit there and sound like a crazy old lady telling them, well, the way it used to be, and priorities, and, try and get through to them, and just, people can't hear you. They don't hear what you're really saying. They hear what they comprehend. And people have a very strange comprehension right now. Like, I keep having things come to me, like where certain things, and then they'll tell me, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I can see how somebody would hear that and see that way. But it is all based on their projection of self, of how they feel about themselves, is how they interpret what you say. And so what you're saying, it doesn't go in. Everybody literally has to go through the experience and wake themselves up and make choices for themselves, changing their priorities. And there is going to be a lot of people who are going to pass. And I don't know who the people are going to be. Like, is it going to be these Christian people are going to rapture themselves right on out of here because they're all coming together with their combined consciousness? Are they just going to go and leave? I don't know. I would think it's going to be some bad thing that will come in, and people who don't have shelter and who are more exposed than others, they're going to be, it's going to be tragic. And it's going to be a lot of these people who they just had given up. I don't get how people are not, like, even when they're forming these homeless communities, why in these homeless communities are they not all talking to each other and being like, hey, there's a lot of land out there. If we just went out there and we start taking stuff and getting out there and just start building shelters, build a community. That's how it was done back in the day. We don't need developers and real estate agents to come in and design where we're going to live and how we're going to live. It's all part of the system. People need to take their own sovereignty, their own independence, their own freedom, and go on a path towards their desires, or just sit there and be victims to a society that is crumbling around them and just be like, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm homeless now. Just bring me the drugs. And so just have all these people, like even people who are just getting kicked out of places. I'd rather just be suicided. Just put me in the machine. Let me go. It's like, how? There's just been so many things throughout my life that were so hard. So many obstacles that you have to get through. You have to overcome. And it is part of the journey. It's part of showing you who you are. Your resilience. Your abilities to stay positive, even when things are, you can't find anything positive about anything. To just know, well, I know something's going to come out of this. Something positive will come out of this. It feels like everything is just dark and devastation. But this is the end of something that was very toxic to us, and it has to end. And like I've said this whole fucking time, the people holding on. This is exactly what I was talking about. The people holding on to this system, holding on to this medical, holding on to this government, holding on to something to provide them. And there's none of that. They're not going to give you anything. If you cannot be giving them every single bit of your blood, sweat, and tears, your energy, then they've got no use for you. They do not care about you. They don't care about your family other than just creating and programming their new slaves. That's the only thing that they want. People who have no connection to family, no connection to each other, that are paired against one another by the color of their skin, the color of their eyes, the color of their hair. It's madness, but it's the people who have to wake up and say no. And the system, the universe, is going to give everybody a huge nudge in that direction. And it is going to be, that's why I said, it's going to be something based on your vibration. If you haven't been raising your vibration, all those people will just be gone. And the people who have been raising their vibration are going to be hit with some challenges that they are not expecting. Tons of people who think they're just fully awake are going to be hit with some hard-ass challenges because there is so much to wake up to. And, this whole world has not been what anybody thought it was. So everything that you created for your life was all based on a false reality. And everybody has to wake up and see the truth so that they can make the choices and create their own priorities of how they want to live, where they want to live, who they want to live with, what they're willing to put up with in their life, and see time as precious, see life as precious, instead of something that is a burden that they just want out of. And it's not like, I'm not a person who thinks, oh, well, they're going to go to hell. They're going to go to hell now. They've just done themselves in. That's it. They're going to hell. I don't think that way. I think that they pass over, and you get over there and you're like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? It was a goddamn game. This whole thing was a game, and I gave up that easy. Put me back in. Get me back in. That's the thing. People just can't remember when they're here. They forget how powerful they are. They forget that they took this on for themselves, and they give up way too easy. Don't give up, because there's a jewel. You're creating the jewel. You're creating your Merkaba. You're creating your multifaceted diamond self, through pain and suffering, through this, through the, what is that word? Experience. And the other thing too, it is the creation of your shine. You show yourself. You empower yourself, showing yourself what a badass you are, what you can do and what you can get through. And even when you're sad, you can still put out a hand to somebody else who's going through trauma. You can still give somebody else a shoulder. It's not a competition over who's had it worse. And because there's so many people in crisis right now. And I mean, things haven't even gone to the level it is going to go to. The level it's going to go to is the everything is going to change. I don't even know if I already said this, but Arizona, they've already come out and said, nope. And the other day, there was the whole thing with the military deadline on Joe, and now they've got Trump going on the AF1, and and this pipeline. Oh my God, there's just so much. There's so much. Shit is about to go. So tomorrow, when I get up in the morning, I'm gonna do my recording, as long as there's power or whatever, and talk about whatever I see today or in the morning. And everybody should stay on their toes. Everybody, you get your most news from other people who are sharing, especially footage of what's going on in their places, in their areas. Instagram and Facebook, you're not going to get that. TikTok, you are going to get that more. Maybe Twitter, but I don't think Twitter has videos, but I think that they share some people's videos and stuff, and there could be some, but it seems to me what I keep hearing about Instagram right now, there's even a push to try and get people to go to Instagram because it's just a push to disconnect from what's really happening. They don't want people to be seeing what's really happening. And it's a lot. There's so much going on everywhere, and it's definitely not being reported. They're not telling people about what's really going on. And so when in the banks it's all going to go. And so anyways, there will be where you won't be able to use your card. There will be no cash. There will be nothing. If you don't have food right now, you need to get it because you will have no way to get it. Or make friends with somebody who does have some. Like I have food, but a lot of the food is stuff that you need to have electricity to cook, because I got dry beans and rice and stuff like that, which, I think I could still figure out I should have got a cast iron pot. That's what I should have got. I could probably still order one, but I think it's just too close at this point. I think I'd be better off just putting them in a pressure cooker and then asking somebody because I'm not going to run my generator all the time. That's just foolish. It's, we've got to get in this idea that we can live better without the stuff that they are giving us. The electricity gives us cancer, and so I'm definitely not going to be running mine I got to have my TV on, I've got to have some lights and stuff. I can fine with just having daylight or whatever. I can sit in the dark with some candles, and I've got some books that I had gotten at the library that I was figuring when the power went out, I'd start reading them, and I thought it would start last week. But anyways, I got those. I could sit outside, but who knows? We could be being rained down on with toxins and stuff. Like, it really is. You have to be prepared for anything. And something is going to go, and then it's going to be horrible, and then it's going to get better. But I think the horrible part, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to freak the fuck out, really freak the fuck out. And there's going to be people out there who are put to activate those people. So there's no telling what's going to go down, but there will be light at the end of the tunnel. That's what you just got to keep in your mind. This is temporary. This is temporary. We'll get through this. We'll get through this. And we really will. This really will be like quarantine. It was like, well, if we just get through this, things will get better. And it was just like another, carrot, another carrot. It won't be like that with this. This really will be, once this stuff goes down, it really will change everything in this world. This is going to be the huge reset of our age, of what our experience is going to be about. It's going to go from trauma and suffering and go into abundance and love and unity and community. That's where we're headed. And I know that's difficult for a lot of people because they're not healed and they've got so much injury inside of them that they, it puts people against other people. And everybody wants to, I know better than you. And so there's a releasing of all that. And that's why all these things keep happening, is to bring that stuff up in you so you can continue to release it. Because as long as you're a part of it, that holds you back. That is the chains that bind you to this reality. So anyways, I will go, but I'm still planning on going tomorrow, unless if everything started going down in the morning, then I won't go. But if I can get over there, it's just overnight and then just come back the next day. I'm just going to fill up my tank as soon as I get there and just be prepared, for anything can go on. So it's an adventure, that's for sure. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.